Pierre Poilievre, the fiery and often controversial figure of Canadian conservatism, had held the riding of Carleton, a largely rural swath of land just south of Ottawa, since 2004. His victory in that year's election marked the beginning of a long and, until recently, secure career in federal politics. He was a fixture in the House of Commons, known for his sharp tongue and even sharper critiques of liberal governments. But on the night of April 28, 2025, Poilievre's grip on Carleton, and perhaps on the leadership of his party, slipped dramatically. His opponent, a relatively unknown liberal challenger named Bruce Fanjoy, managed to overcome Poilievre's long-standing incumbency and claim a narrow but decisive victory. The result sent shockwaves through the Canadian political establishment. Poilievre, after all, was not just another MP. He was, as of the election call, the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition, and the man many assumed would be the next Prime Minister. His loss in Carleton throws the Conservative Party into turmoil and raises serious questions about Poilievre's political future. The defeat is even more striking when one considers Poilievre's deep roots in the riding. Carleton, with its mix of farmers, commuters, and small-town voters, had long been considered safe Conservative territory. Poilievre, who grew up in Calgary but represented an Ottawa area riding, seemed to connect with the sensibilities of Carleton voters. He was a regular presence at local events, known for his tireless campaigning and his ability to speak directly to the concerns of ordinary Canadians. Yet, in 2025, that connection appeared to fray, as Fanjoy successfully tapped into a vein of dissatisfaction with Poilievre's leadership and the direction of the Conservative Party. The upset in Carleton, while shocking, cannot be viewed in isolation. The 2025 Canadian federal election was one of the most unpredictable and consequential in recent memory. The Liberals, led by newly minted Prime Minister Mark Carney, managed to eke out a minority government, securing 168 seats, a far cry from the 172 needed for a majority, but enough to keep the Conservatives at bay. The result was a testament to Carney's late surge in popularity, as the Liberals had trailed in the polls for much of the campaign. The Conservatives, despite increasing their seat count to 144, found themselves shut out of power once again. The New Democratic Party, under the leadership of Jagmeet Singh, suffered a crushing defeat, dropping to single digits in the House of Commons. Singh himself lost his seat, prompting his immediate resignation as leader. The Bloc Québécois, once a dominant force in Quebec, also saw its seat count dwindle. The results painted a picture of a country grappling with uncertainty and deeply divided along regional and ideological lines. The Conservative gains in Western Canada were offset by losses in Ontario and Quebec, suggesting that Poilievre's brand of populism, while resonating with some segments of the electorate, ultimately failed to build a broad enough coalition to win power. The fragmentation of the political landscape, with no party holding a clear mandate, raised the prospect of instability and legislative gridlock. To understand the outcome of the 2025 election, one must consider both the changing political landscape in Canada and the looming presence of the United States under the presidency of Donald Trump. Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of England, was a surprising but ultimately shrewd choice to succeed Justin Trudeau as Liberal leader. Carney, seen as a steady hand with a deep understanding of global economics, offered a stark contrast to the often bombastic Trump. Carney's campaign strategy was shrewd and, in hindsight, highly effective. He presented himself as a unifying figure, someone who could rise above partisan bickering and appeal to Canadians' sense of shared purpose. He skillfully exploited the anxieties many Canadians felt about Trump's America First agenda, which had led to trade disputes and diplomatic tensions between the two countries. Carney hammered away at the message that Poilievre, with his embrace of Trumpian rhetoric and policies, represented a dangerous gamble for Canada's future. Indeed, Poilievre's decision to adopt a more populist, Trump-inspired approach to politics may have ultimately backfired. While his calls for tax cuts, deregulation, and a more assertive foreign policy resonated with some voters, particularly in Western Canada, they also alienated moderate and swing voters who saw Poilievre as too extreme and too closely aligned with Trump. This was particularly true in Ontario, where the Liberals made significant gains, largely at the expense of the Conservatives.